Well, it's not always easy to think about, but it is inevitable the day we leave this world. And how prepared are you? Do you have a plan in place for your assets? With me is Adam Wolf, Jacksonville's retirement coach. He's an area certified financial planner, and his firm, Wolf Retirement Navigation, helps you plan for a successful retirement. Also joining us today is Heather Brooke Quick. She is the founder and CEO of the only divorce and family law firm for women in the Northeast Florida area, Florida Women's Law Group. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you.
For having us.
So glad for you guys to be here. All right, so Adam, tell us how Wolf Retirement Navigation helps make this transition really easy, not only for the retiree, but for their families as well, because it'd be a really hectic time.
So at the company, we focus in on folks who are getting ready to retire and folks that are in retirement. So when we build retirement plans, we're typically focused on the financial aspect of it, making sure we don't run out of money, making sure our taxes, or we're paying the least amount possible, and we're not taking a lot of risk in retirement. So one of the major risks that's out there is looking at our overall estate and how and where we want our money to go when we're no longer here. It's a difficult situation and a difficult topic to touch on.
Right.
And I am not an attorney, but I do help my clients with directing them and helping them with their estate plans. But Heather is the expert, and that's why we wanted to get her on and talk about it.
Definitely. So Heather, what do you offer that other groups don't, just to help with this process?
So at Florida Women's Law Group, we started out doing just family and law and divorce for women only, which that's a major transition in life. And so is retirement, so is the death of a spouse. And at any transition in your life, you need to create a new estate plan. You need to reevaluate what do you have in place? For instance, if you are married by law, your spouse can make decisions for you. But if you're not married, who makes decisions for you if you're unable? Which is more likely than anything to happen. And really, I know we call it estate planning, but it's really life planning. It doesn't have to be such a negative or planning for death. Really, it's planning for your life, because so many individuals are facing, things of like, well, am I gonna have enough money to live? We live so long. And I find that women tend to be a bit more motivated to go get that estate plan done and make sure things are in place for their children, grandchildren, for themselves and their spouse, because we typically will outlive our husbands by about 8 or 9 years. And they are just such decision makers. I think that for women, we can bring you in and talk about things and have a conversation. What do you have in place?
Right. Now, obviously, there's a lot of positives to creating this plan and preparing. What are some risks if you don't go through this process?
So this is the classic, you really got to pay up front.
Right.
Let's plan. Let's get a good will, power of attorney, some papers in place, living will. Because when it goes bad, it goes south really quickly, and it costs a lot of money. And then the government's deciding, because now your family members, they have to go to court to assist and get the authority to make decisions on behalf of you when you're alive and or at your death. There's ways to avoid probate, which also costs a lot of money, and it takes time. Like, there's the things that we look at, like privacy. Do you want things in the public record, and do you want them done quickly, which we all do. There are a lot of ways you can plan to prevent that happening.
Right. And so now this sounds just like a lot of things happening. You got to plan, and you have to really pay attention to what's happening. So what would be your advice, when it comes to for someone who might be starting to go through this?
I think the first thing is to say, okay, do I even have anything in place?
Right.
One. And does it say what I think it says? It's just like what Adam does with, he reviews someone's retirement. Is it really doing for you what you think it's doing?
Exactly.
That's a big thing. And so many people relocate here to this area. They're like, well, we have wills. Understand, it's very specific in Florida and power of attorney. So you need to make sure it says what you think it says. And then if you don't have anything in place, we'll have an offer at the end for a checklist, but come in and let's do an assessment as far as where you fall on your needs and what is of concerns to you. Because there will be something to fit your needs and make sure, one, you're taken care of, but that you've really, it's basically giving a gift to your spouse and your children, your loved ones, by thinking ahead of time for them.
Right. And Heather, you just mentioned a special offer that you have. So what is that?
Well, we will show it up at the end, but if you text the word My Plan to 55222, We will send you a estate planning checklist. And it's just kind of the things you're going to need to get started.
Yep.
And sometimes the first step's the hardest, isn't
Yeah,
it? So
yeah,
it's like, just take that
definitely.
step, especially when you think, oh, this is so overwhelming, scary, and I don't want to think about death.
Right.
So let's make it think about life. Let's be planning.
Yep.
Give that gift to your family and loved ones.
Such great advice. The biggest weapon you can have is education and knowing what you're doing when it comes to this. If you are someone who you know needs to get your wills and trust in order, don't let time pass you by. You now know how critical it is for both you and your family. Admin Heather are here to help with a special offer for the first 5 qualifying callers. They're offering a complimentary 1-hour planning, review, and estate planning checklist. Give Heather's office a call for your appointment, 904-567-9883. Again, 904-567-9883. And you can learn even more about estate planning and how to plan for retirement by visiting wolfretirement.com.